Hello, everyone. My name is Henry Graves, and I'm here to show everyone how to solve for a missing variable on both sides of the equal sign. So essentially, on this problem here, I'm trying to figure out what number that I can actually add on both sides that will make both expressions on both sides equal to each other. So the first thing I'm going to do before I even start distributing is I'm going to write a 1 here. Now, the reason I do that is that way I understand that when I distribute, and I'm going to do my distributing here in red, is I'm going to be multiplying. So when I say distribute, I'm going to multiply what's on the outside times what's on the inside of the parentheses. So when I distribute, I do 4 times x, which is 4x. And 4 times -2, obviously, is going to be -8. Then, but when I distribute, I'm multiplying. And if I have unlike signs, I keep the sign of the negative number when I multiply. And now on the other side, I'm going to distribute that one in a different color. So I have -1 times x. So it's going to be -1x. And -1 times a -2, that's going to be a +2. A lot of people prefer just to go ahead and just change the signs inside the parentheses, and that's fine too. But for this case, I prefer to distribute it that way. Now I'm going to combine my like terms, correct? So like terms, when I say like terms, I mean, do I have constants? If I have constants on one side, I can combine them. If I have coefficients on the other side, I can combine those as well. So if I look carefully here, I have a -8 and a +5. Those are both integers, so I can combine those. So I have -8 plus 5 means I'm going to have a 4x minus 3 on the left side. So on the right side, I notice I have also something else I can combine. I have 35 plus 2. So 35 plus 2 will give me 37. Now I have to figure out what number can I plug in for x that will make this expression true. So what I need to do now is I need to go ahead and do the inverse operations. When I say the inverse operation, that means I'm actually going to do the opposite of adding, which is the opposite of obviously subtraction, and the opposite of multiplying is to divide. So I'm going to start first by adding 1x to both sides. Notice that even though I am doing it on one side, I'm going to do the same to the other side because I want to keep the equation nice and balanced. And when I do that, this goes away, obviously, because -1 plus 1 is 0. And then I bring down everything I have not used yet, right? I've not used a 37 yet, so I can bring that down. I've not used a -3 yet, or the -3. And 4x plus 1x is going to be a +5x. Okay? Now I can mess around with my constants. So I need to look. The inverse operation of subtracting 3 is adding 3. But when I do to one side, I'm going to do the same to the other side. And just like that now, this goes away because -3 plus 3 is 0. Bring down the 5x. So 5x equals 37 plus 30, which is 40. Now, we have to be careful here because it says 5x, but that's really the same thing as 5 times x, because in algebra, anytime you have a letter next to a number in algebra, it means you're multiplying. So we need to undo the 5 times x. And the only way to undo the 5 times x is to divide both sides by 5. So when I do that now, my x is going to equal 40 divided by 5, and 40 divided by 5 is going to be 8. Now, the great thing about math is that we can always check our work, right? So over here, I'm going to do check work. And to check my work, I'm going to simply take my answer that I got, which was x equals 8. I'm going to plug it back into the original function of 4x, 4 parentheses x minus 2 plus 5 is equal to the other side of 35 minus x minus 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and substitute. So when I substitute, I'm gonna replace the x with 8 on both sides, right? We said x is equal to 8. And now I can go ahead and do my operations on both sides. So remember, PEMDAS, we still follow the order of operations, which is PEMDAS first, right? Parameters, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, or subtract from left to right. So 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. And I'm working from left to right. And of course, 8 minus 2 is also going to be 6 here. On the right side, I meant on the left side, I do 4 times 6. So 4 times 6 is going to be 24. Because anytime you have a number next to another number with a parentheses, you multiply. And now we just have to see what we get on both sides. So 24 plus 5 is 29. And 35 minus 6 is also 29. So 629 equals 29. This is true. So to quickly summarize, all I simply did here was the first step in red as I distributed it. The second step, I combined like terms on both sides. The third step I did was I went on ahead and I added 1x to both sides. And then I added 3 to both sides as well. And then my final step here is I went on ahead. In fact, I can actually do even better than that and color code all of this. This is number 1 here. Distribute. Pretty cool. Second step here, I went ahead and combined like terms. Like terms. Step 3. I went ahead and I added 1x to both sides. Step 4. I added 3 to both sides. And my final step, step 5, I divided both sides by 5. So these are 5 steps, a little bit of work, but as usual, the great thing is we can always check our work. That's the big important thing here, okay? Always check our work. Thank you guys for watching my video and have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you guys again later, okay?